everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in return, so today we're going to be making appliques, flower appliques, 2D and 3D flowers that we can put on our fabrics. Okay, I've made one here. This is actually 2D. Okay, I'm going to be placing this one on it and finish up that place, and this is what we need. So basically the things we need, we're going to be needing our paper. We're going to be using paper. We're going to be using this chain stone of chain stones. We're going to be using this wire, copper wire. We're going to be using cloth gum. Some people call it visible lining. Okay, these are the fabrics I'm going to be using. This is my satin, Duchess satin, and this is bridal satin, doll face. Okay, so let's go straight into it. First things first, we're going to draft our pattern. We're going to be making a circle. Okay, and to make this circle, we're just going to fold our paper. I'm going to be using a radius of 2.5. okay, so I fold it into 4. We're making 2 different circles. I want to use 2.5. You can use anything as wide as you want, because this is what I want to get. This is what I'm trying to produce again. So I use 2.5 here. Okay, so I'm going to come here. You're going to measure your 2.5 all around. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. So I'm going to join the points. I'm just using my rough hand to do it. You can use your ruler to do it, to get the accurate points. Okay, I'm going to join the points using this ruler, so I'll get a curve. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to cut it out. There we go. We have 2 circles now. This is the 2, and this is the, so this is the one that I cut out 2.5. First things first, we're going to take the circumference of it. I'm just marking this so that I'll be able to know the circumference. So I'm going to be taking the circumference all around. So I have about 16.75. I have about 16.75. So this 16.75, I'm going to divide it by 5, okay, because I want to divide this circle into 5 equal parts, and I'm going to be getting about 3.35. So each circle, each measurement is going to be 3.35, thereabouts. So this is about 3.35 here, the first one, then 3.35 here, the second one. So we have 5 lines. We're going to be connecting these lines, okay, to the center, to the midpoint here. I hope you can all see. I'm going to be connecting these lines now to the midpoint. Good. After connecting to the mid part of the paper, I'm now going to be getting the midpoint of these circles also. The midpoints of all these partitions, these 5 partitions, I'm going to get the midpoint. I'm going to use my pen for that so I can just differentiate it. So there we go. These are the midpoints. So the next thing we're going to be doing now, we're just going to be connecting this side to the other. But first things first, we'll come to the main one, okay, and come down by ½ inch, 3/4 inch. We'll just mark 3/4 inch on all the sides, okay, 3/4 inch on all the sides, 3/4 inch, 3/4 inch. We mark it down. 3/4 inch, you mark it down on all the sides. 3/4 inch, Next thing you're going to be doing now is we're going to be taking the ones that I have marked with the pen, which is the segregation of the two things. We're going to come now and join. Okay, I'm going to come now. I can use my ruler and join. Okay, to your 3/4 inch, you just come down and join. Okay, next thing you come here to, are you seeing it? And you join. Let it be like a U shape. Okay, you come here to the 3/4 inch here and you join. You can see this one that I used the pen for, it's quite, you can, this one that I used my curved ruler for, okay, it was quite sharp, unlike all these other ones I use my freehand. Because I want it, I don't want it sharp, I don't want the flower sharp like this. I'm just going to go and soften the lines. Okay, and there we go. So this is what I have here. Now I'm going to be trimming it out. Okay, now I'm going to trim it out. Okay, so there we go. Next thing we're going to be doing, I've trimmed it out. Next thing we're going to be doing, just right here, we're going to divide. Okay, not in the middle of the flower, not in the middle of the petal. We're just going to come here on these lines that I use the pencil to draw. Okay, we're just going to come down and cut it almost to the middle. Okay, cut it almost to the middle so we can see what is here. Next thing you're going to be doing, you're going to be coming to this end here, this corner here. Okay, the edge of one petal like this, just like this, and we're going to be trimming it in a little bit. So I'm going to be taking like 1/4 inch and just slightly turn towards the middle here. Start from here. I'll just take 1/4 inch here, or less than quarter, let's say 1/8 inch, then I trim it off. I do it for the other side too. I do 1/8 inch and I trim it to the middle part. There we go. So I do that for all of the petals, both sides. Okay, so there we go. We have the first petal ready. So I'm going to be taking the second one. This second petal, okay, which was the one I measured, I did the radius of 1.5 inches. This is it here, and I've divided it this way 4 and into 8 parts. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be taking the edge of this pattern like this. Okay, you can open it up into whichever side you want. Okay, remember I divided it into 8, and what I'm just going to be doing at this corner here, I'm going to be coming in by 1/4 inch. Okay, and I'm going to be coming by this side too by 1/4 inch. Remember I divided it into 8 rather, so you can see it's going to be 1/4 inch here from the middle like this. Start from the middle, curve it in a bit like this, just a little bit. Okay, 1/4 inch. So I'm going to fold it back and I'm going to cut all of them together so that they'll be uniform. You can see what we have here. So I'm going to trim it off so it will be uniform. And this is our little petal. Okay, this is our little petal. So we're done with making the petal. So now we're going to be placing it on our different fabrics. Okay, so I've gone ahead to iron on the gum onto the fabric. Okay, this is the gum and this is the fabric. So what I'm going to be doing now is that for each of these flowers I'm going to be using 2, one for the front and one for the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and trace out my flowers. Okay, I don't want to double it because I'll be wasting a bit of fabric. So what I'm just going to do is that I'm just going to use my pencil. Be sure that when you're tracing it out, just trace it slightly. Okay, you can put it on it, pin it down and cut it. I don't want to do it that way. I'm just going to trace it like this, trace them out and cut it out so that it will be accurate and it will not shift. You can use chalk also if you know it's a fabric that shows. Okay, don't use your pencil. Okay. So I have traced out all this pattern. Okay, I've traced it out. So I have even number 2 2 because I'm going to be using 2 for each of them, 2 2 2 for each of them. I use my pencil to trace it out on this pink fabric and also on this fabric. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is just to cut all of them out. So now I have traced out the first part. Okay, I've traced them out and I traced it out. What I did was I cut out the second part of it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be applying my hemming gum. Okay. On all the sides. I'm going to be applying my hemming gum on all these sides, so it's going to be able to stick down. Okay, it's going to be able to stick down. You just apply, be generous with your hemming gum when you're putting it there, and you're going to apply it I'm going to apply because this is what is going to stick it down. This was going to keep the two sides. This was going to keep the two sides together. So you have to be generous with it. Put it on all the corners. You do it for all of them, then iron it down. Now I'm going to iron it down. If you don't have hemming gum, you can use your glue to stick down the two sides. Now, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting out this shape so that this shape will cover it. So that this part will cover it. Okay, I've gummed it down. I've glued it down with the hemming gum. But something else you can use your glue. You can use your glue also to attach to fix the two sides together. If you don't have hemming gum, you can use your glue. So next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be cutting out this shape. I'm going to cut it out with scissors. After that, I'm going to going in with this soldering iron to burn all the sides, all the creases, so that it will not fray. I'll go ahead and do that and come back and show you. So the patterns are ready, front and back. The next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to use my soldering iron, okay, to try to trace out all the parts, all the curves, and burn and seal the edges. You just gently use your soldering iron. As you put the soldering iron on it, it's going to melt all the edges, okay, so that they will not fray and it will look neat. So I'm just trying to melt out all the rough edges, all the edges, so that it will not fray. The next thing I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be using my chain, okay, the stone chain, to decorate it. Okay, you decorate it whatever way you want. Okay, using your clear glue gum. So we'll continue till we do everything. So if you've learned anything today on this channel, please subscribe to this channel, like my videos, share, drop your comments. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye. So here we go, we're done.